For once, I don't have a story to tell. Let's probably talk about few of the pet peeves of mine. Everybody has different ones, and I get it, and you're probably like, well, you just need to quit complaining and be happy, but whatever. I'm a pretty big stickler for punctuality. Like, I'm obsessed with being on time for stuff. If I need to be somewhere like work, I'm always the first one there. Now, I don't really subscribe to the to be on time is to be early type deal, but I just like to be early. Because if I've got to go somewhere I've never been, I anticipate getting lost or not being able to find the place, and I put in extra time. And that's paid off at times because GPS is not perfect. So that's nice. So that meant that girl I dated, the cat girl, who was always late and just did it on purpose, I felt like. She's like, well, you already told me to be there at 6:30, so I'm going to be late. So, and I had another friend, actually Carrie, he was always late. Always late. And he just didn't care. That was the other thing. It was just like, whatever, man. My time's more valuable. It got so bad that one time we were going to go play golf. We told him an hour earlier, and then he had to wait on us. And then another time we were going to eat, and he was sitting there waiting on us. We took a picture and had to document the rare occurrence. Another thing is when people block the thoroughfare. And let me explain. There's like an area where you walk and someone just stands in the most inconvenient spot. Oh, here's somebody I haven't seen in a while. Let me stop and talk to them, and block the way for everyone going in both directions. I hate that. It drives me crazy because they won't get out of the way. They'll just stand there. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I blocking your way? Let me go back to my conversation that was much more important than anything else you're doing. It's just kind of selfish. And even my grandmother was guilty of it because she had like a rascal scooter type deal. And she found a way to park it in such an inconvenient way, it would block both ways of traffic. And people in cars do this too. Because there's people in my neighborhood that think, oh, there's somebody I want to talk to. I'm just going to leave my car in the middle of the road, and we're going to chat, and I'm going to block both lanes of traffic, and it'll be okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay to do that. And it just annoys me, because there's people that do it where I work. There's people that'll just stand in the doorway. That's another one. And then another one would be, I know this seems silly, but I care about this. And I'll explain. If I'm at a restaurant, I like to sit by myself, as far away as possible. And I'm talking fast food places. And nothing annoys me more than there'll be the whole restaurant open and they'll want to get the table next to me. Because that's what I want. I want to hear you talking loudly about nothing, or deal with your terrible kids. I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, that shouldn't be a big deal. But it is. If you got the whole place and you get right on top of somebody, it's just ridiculous. I know it seems silly, but I can't stand it. It annoys me. Because another thing is, I have like a stranger talk to me face. So that means they just see me and they want to start talking about nothing. And I don't want to do that. Like, when I'm eating or on my lunch break and not at work, I just want to decompress. Maybe read on my phone, maybe play a game or something, and just be left alone. It's nothing personal, but that's just how I feel about it. And when people sit right on top of you, because another thing is, like, parking. You're parked in a space. They got all these spaces. I'm going to park right next to him. And I know you're like, well, parking, they can park wherever. And yes, they can. It just annoys me because this happened to my uncle one time. He had an old truck that didn't have reverse. So he made a concerted effort to park in such a way that he could put the car in drive and get out of the space. So he parked at the end of a shopping center and someone parked in front of him. So that was awful. And probably last, but certainly not least, on pet peeves, is the people that just think they can do whatever they want. The people that are just like, they think the rules don't apply to them. You know, the Karen types. The people that they're in traffic on a 2-lane road and they will drive down the wrong side of the road expecting somebody to let them in. The people that they've had all this time to get over into another lane and they wait until the very end. And the people that just think they have the right because they want the right. And these people are the worst. They think just because it's them, they're more important and it should be an honor to deal with them. They have to get their way. They have to have their way. That's why I find my uncle so annoying and exhausting. It's because he knows nothing except getting his way. And he still doesn't understand he could be in the wrong if he doesn't get his way. And there are people like that. And what I truly believe is people that do as they please don't like being told they can't. The last thing they want to hear is being told they can't do something. And then when you tell them that, they're just like, well, you're just the worst. It's all your fault. So those are just some pet peeves of mine, but especially the people that think they can do whatever they want.